Chef T here, and I'm sharing Dutch here. That's the Friday is here. I want everyone to see just how fun That's the Friday could be.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I want to teach you guys something that I know y'all gonna find so useful. And that's what to do with your leftover cranberry sauce. Whether you made homemade cranberry sauce or whether you use canned cranberry sauce, I know that there's gonna be a little bit of cranberry sauce left and you need to know what to do with it. So I'm gonna use bread, and that's also the bread we use for Thanksgiving, y'all. So that's left over also. If you have any bread that you maybe frozen or biscuits or anything that you have left over, use that. I also have fresh cranberry sauce, some whipped salted butter, milk, sugar, and my eggs. This is my baking dish I'm using. I think this is a 9-inch pan. I'm not sure how big it is, to be honest, y'all. But you need a dish big enough for all the bread that you're about to break up to fit inside. I'm going to spray it down really good with this butter spray. This spray is also flavored, like I said, with butter. So it's going to add flavor and also make sure that that bread does not stick. This is just bread. I'm going to rip it up to nice bite-sized pieces. This is French bread. We used it the other day to make something. I don't know. And we used it for Thanksgiving as a side. You know, you have bread on the side. You can use any type of bread, you guys. If you have a sweet bread, that's even better because this is a dessert. So it's just going to add a little more sweetness to this dessert. If you had like a bread with raisins in it, a raisin cinnamon bread, or if you just have regular white bread, any type of bread you can use in this, except for naan bread or something like that. You want to make sure it's thick bread because you're going to put a custard on top of it. You want it to be able to soak up that custard without getting soggy and not be able to bake up. So I never tried naan bread, so I just say don't try it. It's a southern thing, so we usually have white bread left over or biscuits left over or French bread left over. Use that. And if you have different type of breads, it's even better. Mixed all different type of breads together. You're just going to rip them up by hand. I like to rip it up and put it in the dish that I'm going to use because you guys know I'm cooking at home. I do not have a dishwasher. So I try to make sure that I minimize washing dishes. So I'm going to break the bread up inside the dish that I'm going to bake the bread in. So let's go break this bread up. So once we get all our bread nice and broken up, I think this is enough bread for me. I'm just going to push it down to see how much it is. It's just two of us eating it, so don't forget. You guys see, I didn't even use 2 full loaves of bread and how much I made to let you know how much bread you actually need for bread pudding. It's a very cheap and delicious dessert that anyone can make. So after I get how much bread I want, you guys remember I said I had some fresh cranberries left over from making my cranberry sauce. I'm going to add that first. Why am I going to add that first? Because I want to. There's no real reason. But the reason why I'm adding it to the bread pudding is because there's going to be like little pops of cranberry inside the bread pudding. Little sour, sweet pops of cranberry sauce. And you guys know that cranberry is a superfruit, right? So the more fruit that I'm adding to this, the better it makes this dessert. I am going to take my whipped butter, about a stick and a half of whipped butter, and melt it. I'm not going to melt it all the way. I'm going to melt it and have little bitty chunks of butter inside the melted when I add it, so that when I bake it and you bite into your bread pudding, there's a little bites of that cranberry and the little bites of that butter. It's just going to be amazing. And then I'm going to make my custard. So the custard is the milk that goes, the sweet milk, I'm going to say the sweet milk that goes on top of this cranberry and bread mixture. And that's the whole point of bread pudding. You take and mix this delicious custard. You can make this custard with anything. If you want to do pumpkin, you can. You just add that a canned pumpkin to this, flavor it how you want, into this milk, and then add it to your bread pudding. You can like make bread pudding with anything, apples, anything that you can imagine, you can do it with this bread pudding. But today I'm going to do my cranberries. So I got my milk, I have my sugar, I have my butter that I was telling you guys about. I'm just going to do enough milk that it covers the bread pudding. That's how much milk you need. Enough milk that it covers your bread that you have in your container. So if your container is bigger, you're going to need more milk than me. I'm using about 2 to maybe 2.5 cups of whole white milk. I think you have to use whole white milk because of the fat in it. It just adds more flavor and helps the concoction rise. I don't know for sure if that's true. That's my beliefs. That's what I think. So that's what I'm going to tell you guys. So again, my custard has my melted yet not melted salted butter. It has my milk. It has my sugar. It also is about to have my cranberry rosemary leftover sauce that I have. I'm going to add that to this concoction and mix it up. It's going to make it turn to like this cute burgundy pink color. Don't worry, y'all. When you bake it, you're not going to see that color. Just, you can see it now. You know, that's the only time you're going to see that color. I'm going to add as much cranberries sauce I have left to my concoction just to get rid of it. And it's just going to be, you know, because it's already sweet. Because my cranberry sauce is on a sweet taste. So when I add it to this, it's going to add more flavor to my custard. I'm also going to put some cinnamon, a little nutmeg, and a little ginger. Yes, cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. As much as you want, just taste it. But I say make a concoction before you add your eggs so that you can actually taste it. Once you add the eggs, it's hard to taste things because the chances of catching something, right? We don't want to eat anything with raw eggs in it. So you make a concoction, then add your eggs. I already know what my concoction tastes like or what my custard tastes like because I made this before. So we're going to mix this up and then we're going to add it to our bread pudding. And another tip that I like to do is, as I'm making sure that each part of the bread is getting every bit of this custard, because that is the flavor. If the bread does not touch the custard, then the bread is going to taste like regular bread. So we want to make sure that we're pushing this bread down and it is touching every bit of this custard, every bit of your concoction that you made. We want to make sure we're pushing the bread down. I like to top the topping of the bread pudding with just some regular ground cinnamon and white sugar. Just dust it right on top of it. However big your dish is, that's how much you want to just sprinkle right on top of it. It just helps the top end of your bread pudding crisp up real well. I like for my bread pudding, for the ice side of it, to have this nice caramelized crisp crunch to it. Then when you get into the inside, it's this nice soft, like a cinnamon bun in the middle, nice and ooey and gooey. We're going to bake this at 375 for an hour, you guys. See, this is about halfway through. We're going to bake this for about an hour or until we stick our knife in like so. When we pull that knife back out like this, and you see I swipe that knife, it's nothing on that knife, and that's how we know it's done. I see that there's still some pieces I want to brown, so I'm going to let it bake for another 5 minutes, and you would have something like this. Like, comment, and subscribe. I hope your holidays was filled with love and joy just like mine's, and it would look just as beautiful. This is something you could do with your leftovers, you guys, or something you could just do just for dessert because it's just a great meal. Happy holidays, and thank you guys for watching.